Welcome back to Blue Harvest Toys, and this is part 3 of the Star Wars Palitoy Cardbacks. In part 2 we left off with the Empire Strikes Back 41 back. So now we're going on to the card front for the 45A. The front of the 45A card features a familiar Empire Strikes Back logo and a slightly smaller Palitoy logo than previously seen on the 41 back. Above the Palitoy logo is a promotional roundel featuring the Become a Star Wars Bounty Hunter special offer. This is the only Palitoy card with a special offer roundel on the front, and it also the last card to feature the Palitoy logo on the front of the card. The sub-variations are the 45AB. Trademark information sits in a black box. The small font used differs from the 45A. The 45AC. Trademark information sits on the character image. The fonts used are identical to the 45AB. 45AD. Trademark information sits on the character image. The small font and text alignment differs to all other sub-variants. This card back was released in 1982 with a single stem with footer, and the Palitoy logo is small, around 35mm wide. The reverse of the card features the 45 available figures, and the call to action encourages you to collect all 45. The bottom of the card details the special offer. The text "Special Offers" is in a large bold yellow font, and to the left of this text it says, "When you become a Star Wars Bounty Hunter." You could claim one of the great items by collecting names on the fronts of the Star Wars action figures. The items that could be claimed were Dengar the Ruthless Bounty Hunter, a survival kit, or the impressive Darth Vader collector's case. Reference is made to the Bounty Hunter capture log, and an address is provided to redeem in this offer. There is also a Bounty Hunter logo to the left of the address. This card variation was manufactured in Hong Kong at the Cada Industries factory and then shipped back assembled to the Colville factory in the UK. A sub-variant, the 45AD, the initial Cada release card contains a spelling mistake on the address, and it says Leicester instead of Leicester. This variant would have been the first 45 back release before the mistake was corrected, so it should technically be designated as a 45A. However, it was discovered last, so it has acquired the label 45AD. There were 8 debut figures: R2-D2 with sense scope, C-3PO with removable limbs, Luke Skywalker Hoth battle gear, Attack Commander, Twin Pod Cowclar, Pilot, Bespin Security Guard, Black, Imperial TIE Fighter Pilot, and Forlom. On to the 45B now. The front of the 45B card is the last to show the Empire Strikes Back logo, which now has a thicker black key line around it, so it also encompasses the bottom half. This is also the first card that doesn't include a Palitoy logo, and the Bounty Hunter special offer roundel from the 45A is also not present. This was released in 1982 with a single or double stem bubble and no footer. The reverse of the card features the 45 available figures. The call to action encourages you to collect all 45. Bottom of the card has a revised special offers text, which is white rather than yellow, and is a medium weight font that previously seen on the 45A. The offer differs in 2 ways. This special offer description is typeset with slightly wider line spacing and a bolder font, and stars have been added into the background of the Bounty Hunter logo. This is the first card variation that was packaged at the Colville factory in the UK. However, the figures were still manufactured in Hong Kong. Figures were sent in bulk to the UK for retail packaging, which is why the cards still say made in Hong Kong. These cards were the first to be factory punched. Palitoy ran out of 45B cards for certain characters, so used German General Mills or Dutch Clipper Empire Strikes Back cards, which were also packaged at the Colville factory. Palitoy created a sticker similar to the offer on a 45C to cover the foreign text on the rear of the substitute cards. Please go back to part 2 for that card and the sub-variants 45BN and 45BD. There was only one debut figure, and that was Zuckuss on the 45BN only. On to the 45C. The 45C is the first card to be released for the 3rd movie. The front of the card features the Return of the Jedi logo, which sits lower than those seen previously. Once again, there is no Palitoy logo. None of the Return of the Jedi cards variations have Palitoy logos on the front. This card was released in 1983 and had a rectangle, tri-logo, single stem or double stem bubble with no footer except Hong Kong. The reverse of the card features the 45 available figures and the collect them all call to action. Interestingly, the last 3 Empire Strikes Back figures, Zucca's Imperial TIE Fighter Pilot and Forlom, are not shown on the back of the card, but are available on this card variation. The bottom of the card gives details for the special offer free 9 Num figure from Return of the Jedi. This requires 6 names of any Star Wars minifigures to be sent to the given address along with the current first class letter postage rate. In the bottom right hand corner are the letters Return of the Jedi 1, showing that this is the first release of the Return of the Jedi card. This card variation was packaged at Colville factory in the UK. The figures were still manufactured in Hong Kong, but were sent in bulk to the UK for retail packaging. These cards were factory punched, however the sub-variations can be found unpunched. Those variations are the 45CD, the 45CG, factory code HG, manufactured and packaged in the Keda Industries factory in Hong Kong, 45CN, factory code HN, manufactured and packaged in the Smile factory in Hong Kong. They have a perforated punch compared with the 45C variation. And the W figures were Luke Skywalker brown hair, Boba Fett, PBP tri-logo and Zucca's. On to the 65A, B and C. The front of the 65A features a Return of the Jedi logo, which now has a thick black key line around it. This also extends further down the logo to encompass the trademark. It also sits higher on the card than the 45C. The Ages Fallen Up text now appears in the top left hand corner of the card, the same text in German underneath it. To the top right hand corner, the text is repeated in French, Dutch and Italian. This was a forerunner to the Tri-Logo cards, which features the Return of the Jedi logo in English, Spanish and French. This card was released in 1983 with the rectangle, Tri-Logo, single or double stem bubble with no footer. The reverse of the card features the 65 available figures with a call to action encouraging you to collect all 65. 2 of the new figures, Logray, Ewok Medicine Man and Chief CHEWBACCA were blacked out, so not to have a spoiler for the upcoming movie release. The 9 Num special offer is repeated from the 45C, but it has been moved further down the card to make way for the new figures. The bottom left hand corner contains 5 lines of trademark information and the bottom right hand corner has ROJ2 followed by the factory code HN. These cards were manufactured in Hong Kong at the Smile factory and then shipped back assembled to the Colville factory in the UK. They have a perforated punch. The sub-variations are 65AG, factory code HG, made in Hong Kong on the front, manufactured and packaged at the Keda Industries factory in Hong Kong. 65AT, factory code HT, was made in Hong Kong on the front, manufactured and packaged in the Unitoys factory in Hong Kong. 65AW, factory code TJ, and made in Taiwan on the front, manufactured and packaged at a factory in Taiwan. The W figures were Admiral Akbar, Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight outfit green lightsaber, Leia Organa Bush disguise, Chief CHEWBACCA, Logray, Ewok Medicine Man, Klaatu, Rebel Commando, Weequay, Squidhead, General Merdine, Bib Fortuna, Reuse, Biker Scout, and Lando Calrissian Skiff Guard disguise. The 65B card back. The reverse of the 65A was slightly updated as the trademark information in the bottom left corner was changed to have 5 lines to 4 and is in bold font. The other difference is that there was no longer any factory code letters after the ROJ2 text at the bottom right hand corner. This indicates that these cards are packaged in the Colville factory in the UK, while the 65A cards were manufactured in Hong Kong. These cards were factory punched. The debut figures were Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight outfit, blue lightsaber, Gamorrean Guard and Emperor's Royal Guard. On to the card back for the 65C. The reverse of the 65B was updated and the new special offer, the CHEWBACCA Bandolier strap. This requires 5 figured names plus a cheque and postal order for £3.50 to be sent to the given address. The offer open to UK residents only, which was on the 65A and the 65B, has changed to open to UK residents only, with the addition of offer ends January 31st 1984 above it. Some cards have the line with the closing date blacked out with a marker pen, presumably to extend the period of the special offer. The text ROJ2 is in the bottom right hand corner of the card. These cards can be found both factory punched or unpunched and were manufactured in the Colville factory in the UK. The sub-variants are 65CG, factory code HD and made in Hong Kong in the front, manufactured and packaged in the Cardback Industry factory in Hong Kong. 65CC, factory code HG and made in China in the front, manufactured and packaged in the Cardback Industry factory in China. Cardback moved their factory from Hong Kong to mainland China in 1983, and there were no debut figures on this card. On to the 65D. The front of the 65D is identical to the front of the 45C variation. This makes it look very different from the other 65 back variations. The Return of the Jedi logo sits lower and has no black key line. The text, ages 4 and over, only appears once in English on the top of the right hand of the card. This was released in 1983 on a rectangle, tri-logo, single or double stem bubble with no footer, except for the PBP. The reverse of the card features 65 available figures. The call to action encourages you to collect all 65. Two of the new figures, low grey, Ewok Medicine Man and Chief Chirper, are blacked out on the card, so not to ever spoil the upcoming movie release. The bottom of the card details CHEWBACCA Bandolier strap offer. This requires 5 figure names plus the check and post load for £3.50 to be sent to the given address. The card states the offer ends 31st of January 1984. Some cards have the line with the closing date blacked out with the marker pen, presumably to extend the period of the special offer. The ROJ2 text is in the bottom right hand corner of the card. These cards can be found both factory punched or unpunched and were manufactured in Colville factory in the UK. However, some cards were sent to PBP in Spain for packaging and distribution. There were no new debut figures on this card. On to the 70A card. The front of the 70A is similar to the 65A, 65B and 65C variations, but with the ages 4 and up text in the multiple languages at the top corners of the card. The Return of the Jedi logo has no thicker black key line extending below it, making it the same as the 45C and the 65D variations. This card back is a transition between the Return of the Jedi 65 cardbacks and the Tri-Logo 70 back cards. It often refers to as a Tri-Logo hybrid. This card was released in 1984 and had a Tri-Logo bubble. On the reverse, the Return of the Jedi logo is repeated from the top of the card in English, Spanish and French, and followed by the text Star Wars action figures. Collect all 70. This is repeated in Spanish, German, French, Italian and Dutch. The image shows 70 action figures, however the number goes up to 79. The numbers 22, 24, 25, 44, 52, 55 and 60 are missing. These are Greedo, Hammerhead, Snaggletooth, Walrusman, Power Droid, Bespin Security Guard, white and black, Twin Pod Cloud Car Pilot, and Forlorn. Paplu and Ewok Warrior, which is Lomat, are blacked out. This card was manufactured at the Colville factory in the UK and there was no debut figures. On to the cardbacks for the 70B, C and D. The reverse of the 70 backs are identical. They feature the Return of the Jedi logo repeated on the top of the card in English, Spanish and French, followed by the text Star Wars action figures, collect all 70, repeated in Spanish, German, French, Italian and Dutch. The image shows 70 action figures, however the numbers go up to 79. The numbers 22, 24, 25, 44, 52, 55 and 60 are missing, and these again are Greedo, Hammerhead, Snaggletooth, Walrusman, Power Droid, Bespin Security Guard white and black, Twin Pod Cloud Car Pilot and Forlorn. Paplu and Ewok Warrior Lomat are blacked out. The front of the 70B is the first card to feature the Return of the Jedi logos repeated in English, Spanish and French. This card and further variations 70C and 70D are known as Tri-Logo cards. To the left of the logo is ages 4 and up, text in English, German, Dutch, Spanish, French and Italian. The figure name has been moved from the upper middle of the card to the bottom right hand corner and is much more bigger than previous card variations. The names used for the figures on the Tri-Logo cards tend to differ from the ones used on previous cards, as do the character images used. The bubble area is also much larger than it previously appears. The bottom left hand corner shows the Lucasfilm copyright and year in white text on the black border beneath the bubble. The reverse is identical to the 70A variant and features 70 figures. These cards can be found both factory punched and unpunched and were manufactured at the Colville factory in the UK with figures made in Hong Kong. There are sub-variations with changes to the country of origin information on the bottom right hand corner of the card. The 70BC made in China, the 70BW made in Taiwan. These were released in 1984 with a Tri-Logo bubble and the debut figures were Yoda, Orange Snake, 9 Num, Nikto, 8D8, Princess Leia, Organa and Combat Poncho, Wicket, the Emperor, B-Wing Pilot, Klaatu Skiff Guard outfit, Han Solo in trench coat, T-Boat, Prune Face, AT SD Driver and Rancor Keeper. Onto the 70C. The front of the 70C is almost identical to the previous card. However, there is one major change. The bubble area was revised to be slightly larger. This makes the border area half a centimetre lower than the 70B card and resulted in the Lucasfilm copyright text being printed in black on the white border area rather than the white text on the black background on the card. The card stock is slightly thinner than used on the 70B. These cards were factory punched, however the sub variations can be found unpunched. This card variation was manufactured in the Colville factory in the UK with the figures made in Hong Kong. Sub variants were 70cc made in China, 70cm made in Macau, or 70cx made in Mexico. The EW figures were Luma and Paplu. The final card is the 70D. The front of the 70D is very similar to the front of the 70B card, with the barcode being added to the right of the main logos and the Lucasfilm copyright text removed from the bottom left hand corner of the card. The bubble area is the same as the 70B, where the bubble border is flush with the bottom of the name tag. In the UK, this card variation is often found with the large yellow new figure £1.59 sticker positioned to the top left hand corner of the card. This sticker is applied in the factory, and examples of the card have been found where the edge of the sticker is underneath the bubble. This card variation was manufactured in the Colville factory in the UK with figures made in Hong Kong. The debut figures were Luke Skywalker in Battle Poncho, R2-D2 with pop-up lightsaber, Romba, a Man-a-Man, Barada, Imperial Gunner, Han Solo in Carbonite Chamber, Luke Skywalker Imperial Stormtrooper outfit, Anakin Skywalker, EV-99, Warwick, Lando Calrissian General Pilot, A-Wing Pilot, Imperial Dignitary, and Yakface. So that's it. That's all the information on Palitoy cards. I would like to thank Echo Base for the guide, and Jason Smith, Mark Thornycroft, and Wayne Totti especially for letting me do this. Please check out Echo Base on Facebook, where you can find this and all the other guides they produce. And get out there and start your Palitoy collection. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, may the toys be with you.